Start streaming. Okay. I believe I'm live. Hard for me to tell. Oh, there we go. All right. Hello, everyone. Everyone out in YouTube land. I know it's been a while. And by a while, I mean a week exactly since I did my last stream. I did it over on Twitch. But, yeah, last week got a little hectic, a little weird. I don't want to talk about it too much, so I'm here at the end of another 12-hour shift day at the start of my week. So, yeah, I'm just here to make some nerdy crap. We're going to make some monsters for my homebrew campaign. I got some notes here on some of my monsters that I came up with. And I am going to show you guys a bit of some of the websites I use when I'm doing my homebrews and running my campaigns. I'm sure this isn't a secret. ImprovedInitiative.com. I use that for tracking combat. I know there's a lot of places like D&D Beyond has a combat tracker. I think Roll20 too also has a combat tracker. I haven't really used Roll20, and I haven't used D&D Beyond that much. I can't really put my finger on what I don't. And not that I don't like Roll20 or D&D Beyond. It's just, I don't know. There's something about the interface that seems uncomfortable. So I stick with Improved Initiative for. You can see they have a large variety of enemies. You can just kind of put in. I can easily just clean that up. And I also use Dice Cloud. So if you come over here to my characters, I've got tons of characters. And these aren't all mine that I've made. Dice Cloud allows you to share with friends and your other friends. But what's great about this is, let's pull up Mindardus here. This guy is level 12. We finished, this is like one of our first Faerun campaigns that we actually completed, or at least saw to the end of the campaign, and he stopped at level 12. You can see he's got 7 levels in Fighter, 2 levels in Wizard, and we modified Blackguard to be 5th edition appropriate. He's got 12 levels here. I don't think that was his actual ending level. I don't think I leveled him up all the way. But yeah, you got your stats page, which helps you pull everything from here. Feats, you can color coordinate them. Helps a lot in my opinion. Have his inventory, which he doesn't have a lot there. His spells. And in here you can go in here and actually change your modifiers. So if you're a wizard, you have your intelligence mod. If you're a warlock, you have your charisma mod. I believe sorcerer uses wisdom. Yeah, you can change that up. I think he was wizard for both. Okay, no, this is charisma, so yeah. And then your persona, where you can put in your descriptions, quality traits, bonds, flaws, ideals, your background, where you can add in your proficiencies from there. And you can add in some pictures too. This is just the reference photo I went with for Mindardus. And yeah. And then as you work back here, you can name your sessions and all the experience you get from there. But what I was slowly working my way to is that I can export his JSON, I guess, to Improved Initiative. So I'll go back here, go to the characters, add new, just type in Mindardus Shalray. I don't even know if I pronounced that right. Just bring that down, paste. Click save, and boom. My boy's in here, and it's got all your stuff laid out. It looks so, like, organized, and like it's from actual, like, official Wizards printed material. Like any of the books, it just looks so nice. So, and you can also, let's just take an accolade here. You can hit this button here, and you can change some of their features. You can come in here and make it like, you can save it as a copy, so it's a different. It comes in as a different entity, or you can save it as a character, and it'll show up over here as like a different imported creature that you can use. And I'm just explaining this for those who don't know, because I don't know who all knows about Improved Initiative or Dice Cloud. I see a lot of people talk about D&D Beyond and Roll20. What are some of the other ones out there? God. I do have Tailspire. I know that's not really in the same vein as Roll20 and D&D Beyond, but like those are other ways of playing the game. My friends and I have used VTT. I have Tailspire. I haven't really got to do much like for a campaign with Tailspire, but I do love like the potential behind Tailspire. Actually, let me jump in here. I do have some good mind counters. Nope, not those. Did I? Hang on. Oh, am I missing a folder? I should have it. Oh, there they are. I can't see. Pop that open. Ah, shoot. I thought, do I not have the... Do I not have... I think I lost them. Alright, well, I thought I saved the JSN, or JSONs for my modified encounters, but I guess Improve Initiative cleared my, like, the cookies for it or whatever, so I gotta redo all those over again. That's fine. They were needed to be redone anyway. But let's see here. Alright, so that was Mindardus. I'm bringing him back. But tonight, I want to work on... go ahead and get out of that. And we'll take Mindy out of there. I want to work on some Homebrew Monsters, and it's only really 2 at the moment. One, I guess, could be considered not really a monster. But I think they're interesting takes on monster types. Let's see here. Let's go into my folder here. We'll go to my Improved Initiative creatures, and my new one here is going to be Mimic Plant and Plant Possessed. Those are the 2 I'm going to be working on tonight. Now, I came up with these based off of, if anyone here, and I'm going to go really nerdy here for a moment here, but if anyone has watched Naruto, and if that phrase doesn't get you, already headed in the right direction, I like the concept of Zetsu, but not, which one is the one I'm looking for? This one here. This guy. Now, there's supposed to be, like, plant-based humanoids, so I decided I wanted to do something in the same vein, but not exactly, like, white, uh, humanoid-ish people. So what I thought was I would break it down into mimic plants become plant possessed, and the plant possessed are the closest thing to that spiral form of Zetsu as possible. Um, that being said, how do mimic plants and plant possessed work? Um, let's see here. Look at my notes here. It is a sentient plant that sprouts from malicious druids as a form of revenge. Um, they take root in gardens or thickets used or frequented by the intended target. They feed off of nutrients from surrounding plant life until 2 months after taking root. Then the mimic plant will grow a large bud, about a yard in height and 1.5 feet in diameter. So the bulb becomes a yard high and it's 1.5 feet wide in diameter. This bud is covered in thick bark and actually holds its strong creeping vines. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading my own handwriting in the dark. When the target inspects or comes within range of the bud, it opens and unfurls its vines. It grabs the target and encases its body in the bark like an Iron Maiden. Thorns pierce its victim and control the body of the plant possessed. So that's kind of how it goes from plant to humanoid form, and kind of its process of growing from kind of like a weed to like a creature to be reckoned with. Let's see here. Mimic plants are not a go-to for evil druids or nature-based casters. This is because, oh my god, wow. This is because the mimic plants start similarly to weeds, as I was saying. They're very weak, but if carefully nurtured, they can become very dangerous. I like the idea of a deceptive. I like the idea of a deceptive creature / threat. Like, if you don't take care of it now and you like really just ignore it, it's gonna come back to bite you in the ass. And I mean, really bite you in the ass. Mimic plants imitate flora around them, but naturally have rough bark like stalks and leaves that are lined with rigid thorns. Closely inspecting a mimic plant will reveal their traits while it's disguised as a leafy fern, a bed of wildflowers, or a crop like wheat or corn. Plants like trees, thorn bushes, roses, stinging nettles help conceal mimic plants more easily. So I kind of had this, I laid this out as a plant that can like blend in, but obviously with a good insight or perception check, anyone can tell that that's not corn. That's certainly a different plant that looks like corn, but it's not corn. Or it's a tree, but there's something off about it. I've looked up other plant-based creatures in D&D, and I mean, let's just take a look at them. Plant creatures 5e, if I can spell. So you have Trents, you have Kelpies, corpse flowers, Trents, lycanthropicals. What the? Like, I didn't even know about that. Shambling mounds I've heard about, and like these are good. And I mean, even when I read body taker plants, I was like, oh great, someone's already done this before. But I think this is more like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah, like they even say it right here. It creates a duplicate. Um, Mimic plants grow into plant possessed by first capturing their first victim, and they use their thorns to pierce the skin and like hijack the nervous system and the bloodstream, and that's how they like assume a humanoid form, and that's how they go into becoming more of a threat. Because when they become plant possessed, when they have a host to feed off of, and here are my notes for the plant possessed. The victim of a mimic plant encased in a strong bark, body-shaped prison. They are pierced with long thorns that help puppet their body for the plant. Excuse me. Spores from the mimic plant overwhelm the victim and induce them into a semi-conscious state. The mimic plant knows what its victim knows and obtains all of its abilities and physical traits. If the victim was a spellcaster, the mimic plant now has access to arcane spells including Warlock Eldritch Blasts if the target had a pact. When mimic plants reach this level of maturity, they become resistant to fire and poisons as well as most acids. I wanted them to be durable. They're not outright immune to fire or poisons or acids. It is still something that can damage them. I'm thinking for like as a default way to kill plant possessed and the mimic plants, I'm thinking they are extremely vulnerable to cold. Something like this has to have a weakness. They need to have, because I like the idea of a plant being resistant to fire or strong against blades. Because now, if you let a mimic plant get to this level of danger, you really messed up. And I want this to be a legitimate threat from something that you ignored because you didn't take it seriously enough. As a victim is held longer and longer within the mimic plant, their body will decay and rot until it is putrid bile. The plant possessed will then expel this bile and search for a new victim, gaining more abilities and I can't even tell what I wrote here. And power. Wow. After consuming around a dozen victims, the plant possessed will evolve into something more lethal. Plant possessed retain humanoid form without a victim inside them and retain memories from their victims and all their skills and ability. Now that last part is up for debate, obviously, because I mean, if a plant possessed, if their first victim was a fighter, and let's say a level 5 fighter where they were strong but not exactly like, you know, powerful yet because they were just still coming into their own, you know, that they have some of the fighting ability there. But stacking like, you know, a wizard and then it ate a warlock and then it had a cleric, well, if I let that if I let the plant possessed then keep every ability from a wizard, a warlock, and a cleric, that means they can cast Fireball, Eldritch Blast, and Smite. Now, I might be wrong, because I don't think clerics have Smite, do they? I don't think they do. But that last part of that is obviously up for debate. I'm thinking they only take on certain feats, and that's something I'm going to work on. But mimic plants are a unique case where they're not really a defined monster. They're kind of like an environmental effect. That being said, why don't we go to improved initiative and let's see about do we have body? Okay, so we don't have body taking plants. do we have? Shambling Mound. All right, cool. So let's take a look. Wow, okay. That thing has a lot of health. Good God. What CR is this? Challenge rating 5? Damn. Okay, so... Wow, Shambling Mound has resistance to cold and fire. Maybe I need to step up my plant possessed. Okay. So I will remove that from here real quick, and we're gonna hijack the Shambling Mound. You know what? Actually, I don't want to do it from a CR5. Let's do... Can I do a 1-4? Okay, so it doesn't go by CR. Are you a CR14? You are a CR14. Okay. We are gonna make this a mimic plant. I'm gonna save this as a copy. And no, we're gonna... Oh, okay. Okay, that's how that works. All right, we'll save this as a character. We're not gonna have a portrait URL. For source, we're just gonna say homebrew and Vistras. This is going to be a plant. Any alignment, any race? Not yet. This is going to be neutral evil. Because it doesn't really have anything to latch onto. Now, for hit points, I'm thinking for... Let's just take a look. Shambling Mound 5e had what? Let's go to D&D Beyond here. Shambling Mound has D10s. Okay, but yeah, I can see how that's... D&D Beyond, do you have anything for just... excuse me. Plant Monsters 5e. One more time. Body Ticker Plant. Myconid. Let's do a Myconid. Myconids are cool. Let's see here. Ugh. Them eyes, though. Them eyes. Okay. I need an actual... What's a CR level? There we go. Okay, CR 1/2. That's fine. And... Okay. So the Mimic Plant's going to be a CR 1/4, because that makes a lot of sense. It's a very weak thing. But... Because Myconid's say 48. I'm going to have that. I'm going to make it a 2d8. So, yeah, that'll actually say relevant. And... Okay. So, yeah, we're not changing too much. And we'll keep the armor class. It will not have an initiative modifier. So... It's going to have a con of... I'm going to make that an 8. So it's got to have a negative. It's a fairly weak plant. This is treated like a weed. It's going to have an insane wisdom because it's got to know who its target is, and it needs to know how to survive. Its intelligence, I'm going to bump to a 12, just a little above the average. Its dex is going to be, I'm going to say, well, it's not going to move yet, so I'm going to make it a 6. We're going to drop its strength down as well to an 8 as well. So this is a very weak plant. It, as a creature, very weak. It is meant to be a wallflower until ready. And all it really has for its whole gimmick is blending in, and it's one feature to absorb or capture. So I'm going to drop that charisma down to a 10. We'll make that a bare minimum because plants don't talk. All right. It is Does it have any saves? We'll come back to saves. Right now, we don't need medicine. We don't need religion. We need it to be good at survival. And we're going to give it a... I'm going to say a +4. And then also deception. And we'll give that... We're going to say it's adept. Like it's proficient in deception, because I know with the dex, deception basically goes off dex or charisma. Wow, I'm running low. Mendardus, how does this shit work? Charisma. Okay. Wow, I'm really losing it after a 12-hour shift. And then survival, okay, is a wisdom, so that makes more sense. So like I said, we're gonna. Oopsie daisy. I just dropped some stuff. Let me just pull that up. Sorry, I lost my stream there. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna say that deception, I'm gonna give it a bit of a boost, so I'm gonna give it a +4 and up this to a +5. Not too crazy, but enough to help it. It has no walking speed, so we're not gonna give it a speed at all. We'll up its passive perception to a 14. Again, its wisdom is pretty good. Damage vulnerabilities, that's where we give it its cold. And in this state, it has fire. It's also got its acid. Oops. We're not done with you yet. And poison. Okay, so it's got a lot of damage vulnerabilities in this state. What is it resistant to? Well, we'll say it's resistant to bludgeoning. You can't crush it. You have to cut it or burn it or freeze it or, you know, dissolve it or poison it. We'll say we're not going to worry about that. So it's resistant to bludgeoning. It's a hardy plant. It's got bark for its, you know, for its stalks and thorns for its leaves. It's good. Okay, so immunities. It's immune to psychic. If I can spell. Wow, if I can spell. Psychic. I'm trying to think of the other damage types here. Lightning. If I can spell that too. Lightning. Thunder. And we'll leave it at that. I don't want force damage to... It cannot be charmed. It cannot be paralyzed for obvious reasons. God damn it. Note to self, don't hit the damn enter button yet. I'm not done. Cannot be charmed, paralyzed, or frightened. At least in this state. Charmed, paralyzed, frightened, or knocked. Sure, we'll throw prone in there, even though it can't, you know, be knocked down at all. Any one language usually common. We're gonna get rid of that. What is it? Is it Druid speak or Druid? Druid 5e. Wow, I can't do anything. Okay, let's go here. Druidic. There we go. Yeah. It's a spawn of a druid, so it should know Druidic. Definitely does not have spell casting. I don't think it has any traits. Because I think its actions are its feats. And it's... maybe I need a reference guide here. Hang on. Do I still have it here? Okay. Actions... Okay, so its traits are its spores, its like leaves and whatnot. So we'll go with yes, my name. Thorn Prick. We'll do that. Thorn Prick. We'll say it. So the mimic plant can identify there. Oh, okay. Can identify a target if I'm losing my brain cells right now because I can't think. The mimic plant can identify a target if a enemy? No. I'm going to just say enemy for now, because I'm lack of a better term. If an enemy is pricked by one of its thorns, drawing blood, the mimic plant must make a... let's say an attack roll. Let's make an attack roll equal to the characters. I'm missing a T in there. Character, right? Wow. All right. Oh my God. 12 hours of work has left me this brain dead. Alright, so the mimic plant can identify a target if an enemy is pricked by one of its thorns drawing blood. The mimic plant must make an attack roll equal to the character's armor class. On a success, the enemy has been pricked by the mimic plant's sharp thorns, and the plant will prepare to absorb its tits. Its new target. I didn't want thrones, I meant thorns. Thank you. On a failed roll, the character does not get identified by the mimic plant. So basically just negates it. Yeah, there we go. Thorn prick. Let's see. I'll just do bark skin. Simple enough. This plant-like creature is resistant to most of nature's fury. It can withstand party temperatures. That's not how you spell that. Come on, brain. Harsh environments. I can't spell. I can't spell. And most common... Wow, really? I can't spell most? Gotta tell you, I can't deal with misspellings. This plant-like creature is resistant to most of nature's furies. It can withstand hardy temperatures, harsh environments, and most common ways of killing weeds. Basically, I'm saying it's not gonna die unless you kill it with fire, cold, knife, or killing the druid who put it there? I don't know. Alright. The only action it's really gonna have is absorb. How do I want to code this? So what I'm going to do is... let's say it's a melee grapple check. And we're going to give this a +6 to hit. Only reach of 5 feet, one target at a time. I'm gonna bump that up to a D6, average 3 of, I don't need to get rid of all that, just piercing damage. Sorry, but piercing damage. Alright. I can't spell. Piecing? I don't want piecing damage. What's that even? What is piecing damage? Piercing damage. I just realized that the mimic plant's strength needs to be a decent strength to actually succeed a grapple check. So we're gonna double that. What was it? 6? No, it was an 8. So we're gonna double that to a 16. Yeah, we're gonna make him pretty hardy because he's gotta grapple pretty strong people. But it is still weak. So 16 is a +3. Hang on. Your 10 is a +0. 12 is your 1. 14 is your +2. So it's only a +3 normally. But since this is its main thing, I'm giving it a +6. On a successful grapple check, I don't even know if I'm coding this right. On a successful grapple check, I want to set a DC, but if it's already got a +6, you know what? We'll make it DC. Why did a DC 16? That's low, but still at low levels when you should be dealing with this thing. A lot of people should still kind of struggle from time to time to make a DC 16 grapple check. A successful grapple check, DC 16. I'm going to move that just because my successful... Ooh. Okay. Okay, alright, well, I guess unsuccessful. DC 16. Grapple check. The target is enveloped by thick, grasping vines that cover and conform to the victim's body. Target is stabbed by long, sharp thorns and Okay, so maybe not. I'm gonna get rid of that DC because you don't really set a DC for grapple checks. I'm realizing that now. What I am gonna set the DC for is that they'll need to make a Wisdom saving throw because, like I said, when the Mimic Plant absorbs a target, it pierces them with the thorns and then creates these spores to try and make the target semi-conscious. So that's your Wisdom saving throw. Target is stabbed by long, sharp thorns and must make a Wisdom saving throw. We'll make that DC 16. Wisdom saving throw and 1d6 piecing damage. This is all great homebrew. Target is stabbed by long, sharp thorns and must make a Wisdom saving throw DC 16 or fall unconscious and be puppeted by the Mimic Plant. I can't spell to save my life. Is that 2 E's? There we go. Okay, I guess not. Am I not spelling puppet right? Why is it trying to say pupitated? Am I wrong? Like, puppeted? Say that? What? Hold on. This can't be right. I spelled it right. I'm looking right at it. What do you mean this is wrong? Add to the dictionary. You don't know what puppeted is? Anywho, all right, let's look this over. Action absorb, melee grapple check, +6 to hit, reach of 5 feet, can only take 1 target, does a average of 3 1d6 piercing damage. On a successful grapple check, the target is enveloped by thick grasping vines that cover and conform to the victim's body. The target is stabbed by long, sharp thorns and must make a Wisdom saving throw DC 16 or fall unconscious and be puppeted by the Mimic Plant. That sounds great, actually. And because that's its gimmick, I believe it's balanced. This is obviously going to need playtesting, but I don't have anyone here to test it for me. And this is half of what homebrew is. You make it and you hope it's balanced. If it's not, oops, back to the drawing board. And I mean, with this, it's just a matter of balancing it and having a second pair of eyes on it. And I'm gonna say I'm saying player character, non-player character. Yeah, okay. Do we want to give it a description? I'll pass on the description for now. So let's hit save and see how that looks. So it's got a +3 to strength, a -2 to dex, that makes sense. -1 to con, that makes sense. And a +1 to its int, a +4 to its wisdom, that makes a lot of sense. It doesn't speak, so it's got a average charisma, +5 to survival, +4 to deception, passive perception of 14. It's vulnerable to cold, fire, acid, and poison. Has resistance to bludgeoning, immune to psychic, lightning, and thunder damage. It's immune to charm, paralyzed, frightened, prone. Knows druidic, it's a CR14. Got its thorn prick trait. It's bark skin, bear skin trait. And its absorb action. Awesome. We have successfully crafted the Mimic Plant. So, with that, oh shoot. Okay. So, I can't make another like copy of that copy, so I need to make an entirely new thing for the plant possessed. So, I'll use Acolyte for this one. No, I think I use Acolyte for the other one too. So, let's get rid of Acolyte. I want something a bit hardier. Give me, what's a bandit? Bandit is Sierra 1-8. Sierra 1-8? Bro, I made my mimic plant better than you. Let's get rid of him for now. What is a bandit captain do? You're challenge rating 2. I'm looking for something around a challenge rating 4. So, did I just get rid of him? Oh, shit. I just got rid of 2 things from my library here. Okay, let's do a champion. Monolith champion. Okay. Veteran is probably what I'm looking for. Do that. You are a CR3. Damn, so close. Let's not get rid of him. What's a captain? If I can spell. God help me. God damn it. City Watch Captain. City Watch Captain. Hey, challenge ready for. Alright. So, we are going to call this plant possessed. Alright. I'm going to put this as Homebrew Monsters. This is a medium humanoid. That is correct. Any race. This is going to be neutral evil. Man, I can't spell. Okay. So I don't know what really determines, or like if there are certain classifications CR levels need to meet, but it's a challenge rating. So I'm gonna knock his armor down to a 16, and bark skin. I believe there's a spell for bark skin. Is there? What do myconids have? They have a 12 natural armor, but they're mushrooms, so I'm arguing they're a bit more squishy. So let's do bark skin. Sorry, bark skin. 5e. Is that an actual spell? It is. Okay. Can't be less than 16. All right, that is actually perfect because that's what it is. We have a 2d8 for the mimic plant, so I am going to up that by a 10d8. So 40 plus, I'm gonna say 22. So that's a hearty 45. Right? Is my math right? My head is not working right. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 62. That's a decent health pool. And that's your average too. So, hell, you could have 80, because at max health, it's having a health pool of 102. So that's not bad. So, all right. So this thing is going to lose a bit of its strength. Okay. Its wisdom is still going to be high, so I'm going to keep that at an 18. Its charisma, I'm going to boost up to a 14. Its int actually gets a boost too, so I'm going to argue that is... I'm going to plug that as a 15. So, it's con... It gets hardier, so I'm going to say... Dare I say a 19? No. No. We're going to make that a 17. Second highest, but not the highest. Keeping this well within combat range. And since it can move, we're going to give it... I'm also going to give it a dex of 16. Okay, so I'm actually doing an even spread here. And then for strength, I'm going to make that a 15 as well. Not terrible, but not the best. This is a pretty well-rounded creature. Its initiative modifier for 16 should be a +3, right? 12 is my 1, 2. Yeah, it should be a +3. Oh my god, I'm tired. Woo! Let's see where I'm at here. So. Alright. We're going to give it some dank wisdom saving throws. I believe it's going to have a plus... Okay, not a 14. Whoo! A little too high there. Maybe a 5. And we're going to give it Constitution for a 4. Yeah, that should be good for it. Skills. Well, it's got to be good at deception to lure in people. We're going to give that... I think I said a 4 last time. I say 4 and I give it a 5. So yeah, I think we're going to give it a 4. We're going to keep it survival. Keep it up and running. I'm going to up that to a 6, though. And then we also need it to be good in... Mendardus, help me out. What other skills we got? Got survival. Survival? Nature. Duh. It should be good with nature. That makes, like, all of the sense. We're going to give that a 6 as well. It's got a walking speed of 30. That makes sense. It has a passive perception of $1. Am I seeing this right? Passive perception of 14. I'm going to give this creature a passive perception of 16. It is vulnerable to the cold. It is resistant to fire. Fire, acid, poison. What did I say it was resistant to? I'll look here in my notes. Oh, not that one. Okay, so yeah, just those 3. Cool. Is it immune to anything? I'm going to say it's going to be immune to bludgeoning damage. If I could spell bludgeoning. There we go. And piercing damage. So, it needs to be slashed, frozen. Did I make it resistant to lightning damage earlier? I can't remember. Oh well, it's a different creature at this point. Entirely different, you know, Condition immunities. It cannot be frightened. I'm keeping that across the board. And it cannot be charmed. We'll let it be paralyzed. We'll let it be prone. We're going to get rid of that and give it back its druidic. Tactical insight. Shit. Improved initiative. In it. There she goes. Bring this back up. I'll build an encounter. Go to my characters. My mimic plant. I am going to save myself some time and just copy all that. And dump it. Oh, shoot. That's traits. Go ahead, absorb right in there. Paste, there we go. It will do multi-attack, just got to plant possessed, Jesus, makes 2 attacks. 2 thorn claw attacks. And I want to say 1 bashing attack. And we're just going to cut that right out. 2 thorn claw attacks and 1 bashing attack. So we will rename this Thorn Claw. It's going to be a melee weapon attack. Make that a +6 to hit. Reach of 5. Get rid of this range. 1 target. I'm going to make this a 3d6 plus and this is where everything needs to be balanced, but for right now I'm gonna go crazy and say I'm gonna give it a +10. So on average you're getting a 19, and that's gonna be slashing damage. Now, to those who I don't need disarming attack, orders of the day. To those of you who are watching now or in the future, I clearly need to balance this. One thing I will recommend while you're homebrewing, just have fun. Make this. I'm making this broken. I'm sure there are plenty of things with this that need to be addressed. Why does it have a passive perception of 16? Why does it have a skill in nature as a plant possessed, but not as the mimic plant? Hey man, I'm also tired coming off of a 12-hour shift from work. I'm gonna be a little broken with this. Why is its stats so low? It's supposed to be a monster. Should be a little tougher than this. I'm also not fully awake. But if you're just making creatures like I am right now, hey, fuck it. Have fun. Thornclaw can be a +6 to hit. Does 19 damage. That's an average. That's an average. So at max damage, we're having 28 total damage. If the DM rolled full 6s for its 3d6 attack +10, that is a 28, right? That's my math correctly? 12, 6, 7, yeah, 28 damage. And it hits, and it attacks twice. So it gets 2 Thornclaw attacks and 1 bashing attack. So you're taking a total of, if you land both claw attacks, double the 28. So 56 damage total. I did say I wanted this thing to be a force to be reckoned with. So If I can spell, it's a trunk bash. Trunk bashing attack. It's also going to be a melee weapon attack. It's going to be a +5 to hit. Reach also 5 feet. One target, because duh. Hit is going to be, well, we'll get to that. Make this a 2D. Make it 2d4 +6. So on average for 8. So that's an average of 8. That's not terrible. And that's going to be your bludgeoning damage. So that's not terrible. I think that should be good enough. Bonus action. Healing salve. On this as a bonus action. I was going to say on the start of its next turn. As a bonus action, the plant possessed. Wow, typing. Plant possessed. The plant possessed can heal for 2d6. So that's literally 6. It can heal for 6. Can heal for 6 2d6 health by sapping life from the target within it. The plant possessed can only use this ability with a victim trapped inside. That way, if the DM says, "Oh, it showed up and it's trying to capture one of you," then you can go, there's no one in there. You can't eat me and, use the healing salve. But, okay. So, what else are we missing? It's traits, right. I totally skipped over that. Okay. Gotta give it its bark skin back. Bark skin. Boom, boom. What else did it have? Thorn prick. Let's do... Hive mind memory. Plant possessed can access knowledge of past victims and adapt to use the victim's old traits and habits. And what I'm doing with this is basically setting up that you can modify plant possessed to use spells, to use sneak attack, to, if it successfully consumed a I don't want to say young barbarian, but a barbarian before it got stronger enough, or was, just happened to fail its save against the spores to consume it, it has access to rage, and that's a dangerous combination. This is why monsters like this for homebrew need to be play tested. I think that's all we're gonna do tonight. I'm gonna save this as a character. We're gonna hit save. I'm going to my characters. We now have our mimic plant and our plant possessed. Before I go, I swear I have the Jasons here somewhere. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Google Docs, start a new Google Doc. Homebrew Jasons. We're gonna put them right in here. So mimic plant, and we're just gonna go ahead and let's grab that, copy, go in here, paste. She's a biggin', but I'm gonna bold italicize that. Boom. And we're gonna go plant possessed. And we're gonna do the same for the plant possessed. JSON. Copy. And paste. Ta-da! And now we have these secured in our own little itinerary. I am going to be calling it quits here for tonight. It's well over my hour. I need to be getting to bed, and that's all I can do for tonight. Next time, I'm going to go through how we can playtest these on our own. Go through probably some mock combat with some of my recent characters that I use. Let's see here. Githala. We'll use Kyung, Kane. We'll probably use Jack the Giant. I think he's going to be our new beta tester for a while. And we'll make up a team with some of my current players' characters. And this will be a good way for us to test out what works and what might be overpowered. It might also involve, substituting really low rolls to see how bad they get screwed over, substituting average rolls, and then hitting your straight max. This provides a good spread for what could work and what could not. But like I said, that's going to be it for me tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're watching this at a later date, I really hope you enjoyed this look into how I do homebrew. Please leave comments below on what you think I should do better. If I completely overlooked a monster that is already like this out there, please let me know. I want to know if I'm ripping something off. I have no idea if anything like these two creatures have been introduced to D&D. There's a lot of enemies that sound similar but do distinctly different things. But yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be trying to do more of these streams every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hopefully not so late at night, but I'm going to try and do them more often. But with that, thank you so much. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Have a great night. Thank you.